This video is to demonstrate the functionality of my code for assignment 7. Here I have 3 test cases. This first one on top is centered in the middle of my screen, which I modified to now be a 6x6 box. So this ball is centered at x equals 3, y equals 3, and it only moves in the x direction. The second case, again, is centered in the middle of the screen and is only moving in the y direction. And this third case at the bottom is set slightly right of center and is moving in the x and y direction. So when I move the ball for each of these test cases, this first one increments to the right with a velocity of 1, so x is now equal to 4. Similarly for ball 2, it modifies the y direction, so it moves down screen to y equals 4. And then in test case 3, it hits the right edge, so my velocity for x inverts now. Since my edge is the 6th value, it'll be heading in the opposite direction along the x-axis, but still climbing in the, going down on the y direction. I go through again. Same thing for the first 2 test cases, just increments along their respective axes. And then ball 3, the ball is tracking left along the x-axis and then down along the y-axis still. Step through again. Now my first 2 test cases have hit their respective edges, so my first test case has hit the right edge of the screen, and so x velocity inverts now to head the opposite direction. For ball 2, hits the bottom of the screen, so that y velocity now inverts to send the ball traveling upward along the screen towards 0. And then for ball 3, my y position, it hits the bottom of the box, so now the y velocity inverts as well. So I step through again. Ball 1 is traveling along the x-axis in the left direction. Ball 2 is traveling up. And then ball 3 is tracking to the left and up. So I continue to step through. Acting as predicted. Notice now for ball 3, it hit the left edge of the screen where x equals 0 now, so it'll invert the velocity again to head opposite direction it came. So the ball is now tracking to the right and up the screen. Step through a few more times and I reach the edge cases for the rest of the ball. So ball 1 now hits the left edge of the screen again, so inverts the velocity, heads the opposite direction. Same thing for ball 2, hits the top of the screen, velocity inverts with the y, and so heads back down the screen. And then ball 3, the y hits the limit, y equals 0, so that value for the velocity inverts again to back to 1, and now I'll be heading towards the bottom of the screen. And so all these positions are making sense still. Yep. So this demonstrates functionality of the assignment where ball will be moving, and then we'll be able to detect the edge cases and invert the velocities necessary to bounce off and still travel.